to take a listen.
Bulls. Literally, they use analytics for everything. I told you the reason I got traded because I shot a mid-range jumper.
I remember.
Yeah.
We talked about
I remember I came in the locker room. We're going into half, and I had to shoot it. The shot clock was going on, and I shot a mid-range jump shot. And
Mammy was expecting BZ to carry the franchise, and that's not him.
A decent game. Going to the locker room, you kind of can hear people yelling. We down. You can hear people yelling back and forth. He was like, he just don't want to fucking buy in. I'm going to get his ass out of here. I'm like, what the fuck is they talking? Who the fuck? What happened? I'm thinking coaches. I'm like, what the fuck? As we walk out, coach tells me, come on, Jeff, man. You just have to buy in. I'm like, the fucking what? Like, we don't play defense. I mean, we're the worst defense team in the fucking league. What the fuck are we talking about defense for? He was like, man, you shooting those floaters and these mid-range shots. Like, just step behind the line and shoot the three.
We've heard about this from other players talking about this is what teams want out of the players. This is what they tell you in these practice, in these film sessions. Shoot, threes. And I think a lot of times the players get a bad rap, and, you know, fans that aren't watching all of this content miss out on the fact that teams are getting guys to shoot this many threes, right? This started with the Houston Rockets and Daryl Morey and the statistics and all of that stuff. But teams have always kind of controlled some of these things behind the scenes, right? So when Russell Westbrook went to the Lakers and he kept getting blamed for the three-point shot, I'm like, this motherfucker hasn't been able to shoot in 4 years. Why are we looking at him to be the jump shooter? Teams looking for Curry too much. I'm watching the teams. All I see is Warriors offense. Honestly, Bruce, and I was fighting with some dude on the thing because I had this take a couple weeks ago. I think Curry is obviously the face of the three-point shot, rightfully so, the greatest three-point shooter that we've ever seen. But a lot of these teams play like the Houston Rockets and James Harden, and their stars play like James Harden. And I think that's why there's a problem in the game of basketball. If more teams genuinely studied and tried to copy the things that the Warriors were doing, which I think was good basketball. Yeah, they took some bad shots every now and then or whatnot, but it comes with it. If more teams tried to copy the Golden State Warriors 2015, 16, 17, all those years, the league would be in a much better spot. Hitting guys in the post, you know, cross screens for the guards, elevator screens. Like, teams try to play like James Harden and the Houston Rockets. All right, you're going to get ISO, right? ISO, step back into a step back shot. If not, you're going to pick and roll, alley-oop or floater. Like with the Warriors, I always say this. People missed at the fact that before Kevin Durant, they had Harrison Barnes that was there shooting middies. Sean Livingston was shooting middies. Kevin Durant went in there and became their post demon there pretty much because he was in there, you know, doing his one-on-one shit to add to the Steph Curry three-point shot. And we're seeing right now to an extent, Jimmy Butler is kind of filling that role. They're able to put him in the post and have actions on the weak side for him. But the rest of the league don't play like that, if we're being honest. Teams are not playing like the Warriors. The Nuggets played differently from the Cavs from the Pacers from Boston, etc. You may have, yeah, thank you. You know, because like I said, and if y'all remember, everyone hated the way James Harden and the Houston Rockets played. And I think because everyone has kind of copied them, and really I blame Daryl Morey, who I think should be the face of, Daryl Morey should be the face of this shit. We should all be saying a big fuck you to Daryl Morey for ruining this game that we love, right? The Rockets and James Harden become the face of that bad basketball shit, but it really was Daryl Morey. Cavs do, to your point, Cavs do play like the Warriors. But Bruce, to your point, right? It makes sense because they copied Warriors, and I think the Warriors are great basketball, especially for offense. It's no surprise how the Cleveland Cavaliers copied them and really studied them, and now have the most efficient offense in the league. Like, I don't think that's an accident. right? Their big guys, Jared Allen and Evan Mobley, are both lob threats. But the way that their offense is ran and structured, you can also hit them on the short roll and they can make plays at the free throw line, sort of like the way Andrew Bogut used to do. He could get the ball at the free throw line, hit the baseline cutter, hit the corner three-point shooter. Draymond does the same thing. And so it's no surprise to me, right, why the Cleveland Cavaliers offense is so good it has been so good through the regular season, because the Golden State Warriors were also a really great and efficient basketball team. They always got good shots. It's no surprise why Anthony Edwards wants to shoot a bunch of threes. I know that we get on him about it because he's the one that's super vocal, but it's also coming from somewhere, because they keep encouraging, shoot more threes, shoot more threes, shoot more threes, shoot more threes, shoot more threes. And I've said before, how can you justify more three-point shots when your offensive rating isn't higher, points per game isn't higher, and your efficiency keeps dropping down? If you talk about the Boston Celtics, they're having a worse season than they were having last year. And I think a lot of it has to do with the increased amount of three-point shots, because in order to get that many more threes, you got to take a bunch of really bad ones. Because now it's just shoot a three. And I think that comes from somewhere. That's not a player's decision. Right? That's not a player's decision. Like back in the day, they used to say, you get benched if you shoot a bunch of them threes. They're letting them stay, which tells you it's a coaching and a management thing.